live match time, and you join me today at one of my favourite venues, Makins Fishery. No, it's a nice little carp, it's a lovely start. The wind's died a bit and it's going under every put. They're all like 3 to 4 pound fish. So that's the end of the match. Had an absolutely fantastic day. It's been better than we were expecting, in all honesty. Good morning everyone, live match time, and you join me today at one of my favourite venues, Makins Fishery. We were supposed to be on phase 2, it's a sellout, 30 pegs, there's 3 lakes in. I got a message last night, it's actually been changed to phase 3. It's on Severn, Avon and Thames, and I've drawn on Thames, which typically is a lake I've never fished before, so again, should be quite interesting for us. I'm going to be learning along the way with you guys. So we've drawn, by all accounts, a really good area. 19, is it? No, 17. Somewhere around there. I can't remember when I go back to my peg. Really good area, apparently. It looks really nice. The only problem I've got with it is it's nearly 16 metres wide, and I've got a triple ship because it narrows right in. So it's not the most efficient for fishing across. But it sounds like, not like the rest of Makins, that we're actually going to be doing a bit of F1 fishing. There's a lot of F1s, like a pound and a half apparently. Small stocky carp, some bigger ones. I've seen a couple of big ones come through, some skimmers, bit of everything. Like I say, it's quite wide. There's a lovely cutout across. We've got 18 inches across there, so I'm going to start my match fishing over there with just micros and expanders. I do wish I'd done some 4 mils, but I wasn't expecting any F1 fishing, so it'd be 6 mils. And probably fish bits of worms or maggots over there. I've got some ground bait as well. Then you've got lovely reeds across. It's 3 foot against them, so I'm going to fish casters up and down there, bits of worm underneath. Got a lovely little edge. You can't go very far because of the weeds, just literally a short kit and a long 4. Just going to fish ground baits and maggots there. And then I've been told you'll probably catch some carp short on whatever you want to do. Casters, maggots. I'm going to fish meat just because we're fishing casters elsewhere. I want to see if one's better than the other. Can always change it if I need to. So a real simple day, 4 rigs and a couple of shallow rigs. We'll talk you through them when I get down to the box. Just going to get some bait ready and get ready for fishing, and hopefully we have a load of bites and catch some fish. So I'll see you down at the peg. Right, so we're all set up, just waiting, nets are going in a minute. Got a few minutes to go. So just got to explain where I've picked fish and why. As you can see, I'm sure Ben will zoom to it at some stage. There's a lovely mud hole over there. It's nice and shallow in there. It is wide, and like I say, it's awkward for shipping, but I'm going to start there. It's a natural place for the fish to congregate as far away from you as they can. Fish seem to want to be in shallow water at the moment. So just going to start with pellets there, like micros and expanders. Just try and get a few quick fish, start the match off nicely. Come in about a metre, like the cutout is probably goes back a metre. I can go tight to the reeds there. I've got 3 foot then, so it's another line across in a different depth. So it just gives me another option of fishing across. Set up a rig for fishing on the bottom. I'm just going to fish a worm or pieces of worm there. Nice positive rig. Really, I want to be catching shallow there, especially with it being F1. So I've got 3 shallow rigs. I'm just going to ping casters right into the reeds, fish up and down there. Then from what people have told me, like catching the main weight of carp is going to be shortening the edges later on. So I've just set up a rig for fishing like a top 5. It's deep down the middle. It's 5.5, 6 foot. I'm going to just feed a bit of hemp and throw some meat over it, build it up during the day. You're not allowed loads of meat, so just trickle it in. I've gone for 7 mil meat just because I want to catch carp there. I don't want tiny bits, and if I go there, I want to be trying to catch carp really, not the F1s. Then finally, the edge. We all know edge fishing is mega for carp. The last couple of hours, we actually fished quite late in the matches at Makins. We're fishing 11 till 5, so it's not a marathon. We're only looking for £100. So we're only looking for like £15 an hour, perhaps. It's only a few bites. So if I can catch 20 F1s the first couple of hours, I'm on target, and then hopefully top it up with some bigger carp. So it's not a marathon. It's just going to be about working out what depths they want to be in across is going to be the main thing, and then getting your timings right for coming in short and catching some of them carp. Should be a lovely simple day. Should have plenty of fish to catch. There have been a few swimming through. Seen some F1s top. Really looking forward to it. I'll go through the rigs in depth as we're fishing with them. I'm going to get my nets in now, just have a drink, get settled, and then it'll be game on. See you again soon. Right, so the match is just about to start. We'll get ready. Just going to start putting a bit of hemp and meat in short, ready to start building that up. Just throw a few little bits over it. Not feeding a lot. There's a limit here, 3 tins. So just going to build it up during the day. Just waiting for that whistle, which should be any second. The wind is starting to get up, which might make fishing across slightly tricky, but we'll play it by ear. Might be able to fish down the middle. There's been a few fish showing down the middle, so maybe catch shallow down the middle. It's all about finding out today because I haven't got a clue basically on this lake. So. Any second now. And that's it. Going to be a noisy day judging by who's around me here today. So I'm only going to fish my meat short, just where I can throw it. Just throw a couple of bits just to get my eye in. Great big mugger just gone by out there. I got told the fish weren't that big in here, but I've seen quite a few big ones. Maybe there will be some fishing down the middle. So I'm just going to start with a 6mm expander. It's the medium toss pot full of micros. Just play it by ear. There's a long way to go and we're not looking to catch 300 or 400 pound. It's going to be a steady day, so it's just going to be feeling our way in, to be honest. So really awkward ship here. Not quite sure how heavy to go with lines and that. I've heard slightly heavier, just in case I hook some carp early on. And that's it, we're fishing. Not going to feed any casters straight away. Initially just want everything that's across to come to this bait here. So it's just feeling my way in. Hopefully we get a few quick bites on this. Little liner then, that's a good sign. And there we go, first fish, nice. And it's a carp, which is a great sign. I think it's a carp anyway. Fishing 14 to 16 slick, so might be a bit over heavy if it's lots of F1s, but no, it's a nice little carp. It's a lovely start. There we are, first fish of the day. About £3, so we can go in that net. It's a separate for every fish under £3. Separate net, should I say. You will have to just excuse me with my coughing and spluttering. I've been full of cold the last couple of weeks. About over the worst of it now, but and that's a lovely start. Let's get that rig in position. Well, that's a perfect start. So that wind is a little bit tricky at times. Didn't see that one come in and no funny bites or anything, which is perfect on the mudline. You don't want them going silly. Often when they first come in, it is a bit like that, so that's a great sign. Struggling to hold that pole in that wind there. That could mess us up at times today. If it is too much like that, we might have to rethink what we're doing slightly. Maybe fishing shallow down the middle, or 11 metres or something. Seems to be coming and going at the minute. I think that was an indication then, so that wind's not making that very easy at all. Well, we'll just I'll just talk you through the rig, like I say, all short kits today again. They're not big fish in here, and so it's ideal for them, just helps baiting up. Started with the 14-16 slick. I've heard just that bit heavier, hoping that we do catch some carp. Still loads of stretch in it for F1s. I've got 020 to a 3-inch hook length of 016 and a 14x2 hook. It's perfect for a 6mm expander, like I'm fishing, or 3 or 4 maggots, bit of worm, whatever. And just a half gram one of our Mudline floats, all the shot just above the 3-inch hook length. So just a bog standard Mudline rig, in all honesty. Seemed perfect for that one. I can always just drop down the elastic a grade if I do start catching F1s there. Normally it's the F1s that are the first on the scenes. Hopefully that means we're going to catch some carp. But... Right, so just a little progress report. Still fishing across. Felt like there was an odd one started to come in, but wasn't really catching anything, and or getting any bites. And I've just changed to, oh, another indication, and there's a few coming in now. What I've done, I'm still feeding micros. Oh, there we go, got one now. I've just put a bunch of maggots on the hook, and it's like instantly I've started to catch. Just 4 dead maggots. So maybe they just don't want expanders. Got to thank Liam behind me. He said he caught really well on maggots the time he fished this lake. Give him a mention. He's smiling. And I put them on and I've caught straight away. So maybe they just don't want expanders. That's a nice fish. The interesting thing is I thought this was going to be F1s, and everything I've caught has been a carp so far. That's probably £4 that one. So you can see a terrible netting on my part with that one. Yes, that's a bit bigger than the last. So I'll just keep nicking an odd one of them. Probably won't have to feed any casters or fish shallow. I'm a bit dubious about doing it at the moment, because it is like you're fishing 14 metres. That wind keeps getting up, and I think your bait's just going to go everywhere. So I don't really want to start doing it yet, especially if I'm catching carp, because I was told I wouldn't catch many carp early on. So yeah, just four dead maggots. And that was like, I missed the bite and lowered it in, and my elastic come out. They're obviously really, they want those maggots. So I could just have a nice day fishing across like this. When you're fishing maggots, it gives me the chance. If it does slow, I can big cup some maggots and some ground bait and like kickstart it off again, which used to work really well at venues I used to fish. You could literally just fish the mud all day. So probably getting a bit ahead of myself, but it's a bit of a nightmare over there. There's a few leaves and that blown in my hole. Not really seen a lot else caught on here yet. So I've got 3 fish that'll go £10. So well on target at the moment. Oh, another one just came in then. I have spooked him out. I will just see if there's enough bait there to catch another one. Well, I'm not getting a sign there now. You need to keep that tight little bed of bait. It's not very easy, so I've got to break down 3 times to ship back. But I'd rather do that and get a fish than sit out there and wait a long while for a bite. You need that little trap. Imagine if you were fishing a method and you had a big line and it pulled you away from your bed of bait, you'd reel in and start again, and it's exactly the same. principle on the mudline. You need to be fishing tight on, be really accurate. I've got a little tiny leaf I'm lined up with there. Once that pile of bait's moved from there with like fish coming in, spooking back out where you've missed a bite, you've got to put the work in and like do the shipping. It'd be much easier if I could ship back in one go or two, but that is what it is, as they say. Starting to get a few signs, so that's good. See, as soon as I ship back and put some bait in, you get a bite straight away. It's all about keeping that nice little that bed of bait. It's another carp as well, which is a great sign. See what I was saying? I sat there for a few minutes without a bite, ship back, made a new pile of bait, and you catch straight away. Another one the same sort of size, 3.5 pound. Lovely match fish. The setup's been absolutely perfect for them. Like I say, I could have fished a bit lighter. Perhaps for the, if I was expecting F1s, but I'd rather just be that bit heavier. I didn't want to go in and hook a decent carp and have it break me and have a bad start to the match. And as it turns out, it's been just right at the moment. That wind's just getting up again now. It's turning in my face a little bit, which could make the short line and everything better later in the day, so I'm not going to grumble. But if it could just stay away for an hour or two, that would be lovely. And we're in straight away again. Look, this is much more like it. Oh, that one was foul. Look, this. That's a sign I might just need to change the feeding. There's starting to be some bait left for the next one. Might just put a smaller cup on. But the sign's starting to be quite promising. There's a misbite again then. A lot of fish all of a sudden starting to come in, which is great. Just got to be careful, like I say. Might find I have to feed a little less bait. You don't want them sat there waiting. You want them to be in the area, and then come once you feed, just so you don't foul hook them. A lot of indications all of a sudden. Wind is very tricky. Still a bit of twig or something there. Might find I need to feed again now though, because I missed a couple of bites, let's say. Probably just upset that pile a little bit. Oh, that could be why I'm missing the bites. That's just a tiny little perch or something. We don't want them. Right, so just have a quick little breather. Hour in, it's fishing very, very slow, as we all thought it probably was going to be on here. Bit interesting, not caught F1s across. The fish I have caught, I've had 4 carp over there. Changed to maggots on the hook, feeding micros was much better, and they started to get a few come in, and then the wind got right up and I couldn't hold it properly. Just had a look on my short meat line, missed a couple of bites and had an F1 on it. So it's 7mm meat because I was fishing for carp really there later on. But I feel like the fish I'm seeing are in the deep water. The wind's making the cross difficult. So I've just got the plummet out. I'm going to plumb up my meat rig somewhere a bit longer, like 11 metres, and fish worms. Start pinging some casters and fish worms there on the bottom. Fish up and down there. Just catch some F1s, I think, because I feel like there's some F1s in the deep water. I've seen an odd one swirl, and I think that's going to be my best bet. I'll have another go over. The wind does just drop while I'm priming that up, and I think that's where we're going next. So I'm going to get this plumbed up. Once we get on that like the worm and caster line, we'll see what happens, and we'll have another chat about it. But for now, I'm just going to prime that up and go back across. So, but we've got about 15 pound at the moment, and from what I hear, that's good. There's not been a lot caught at all. Like I'm hearing people saying 1 or 2 fish. So we're in a nice position at the moment. Really, it's not doom and gloom by any means. So I just want to find somewhere where I can fish that same rig. It's really deep there. I didn't actually set a rig up for doing this. So I'm just trying to utilise my meat rig. I might have to set another rig up because that's just bottomless out there. I'll just about get away with it there. That's more like it. Yeah, so I can do it about 12 metres. That'll be lovely. I'll be able to fish that in the wind. So I'm going to just start pinging some casters on that, build it up, and then hopefully have a bit of a run with some F1s because there's not a lot being caught. I just want to tick over and then hopefully have a good run, shortening the edges later on. It's a bit frustrating with that wind because there are fish to be caught across. It has just dropped, so I'm going to have another look over there, but there's certainly no one setting the world alight at the moment, so I think we're going all right. I said £15 an hour would be about there, so just got to find somewhere to keep building on that now. So I'm just going to start firing some casters over there. I'd like to do it across and the wind's just going to ruin it, so just have the 3 pouches to start it, and then just keep trickling a few in. Yeah, it's going to be a steady match. If we can catch a few over there while the wind's gone again, and then hopefully catch some on the worms and casters. They definitely want natural baits. The minute I swapped to maggots on the hook, like I went from silly bites to catching a couple of carp. So I definitely think the casters and worms route is going to be good. Can't be too stubborn, like I say. I'm able to change things around with the conditions slightly to what I was expecting, but that is fishing. So hopefully go across here, have a couple. Wind's not too bad now. It was horrible for a while. Going back to what I was saying earlier, but you make your little pile and fish right on top of it, and look, the wind's getting up the minute I go over again. It started blowing my rig around and I couldn't fish where I wanted, hold it there, and basically like it is doing now again. There we go, we've got another carp across there. So that's nice. So if I could fish over there all right, I think there are a few fish to catch there. Just can't hold it half the time. Not hold the pole, but just don't hold the rig steady. The horrible blustery wind. all peas in a pod, like 3.5 pound a piece. I've seen some quite big fish cruising about. Like not muggers, just a single one just coming through every now and again. You see it for a couple of seconds and then it goes deeper again. But and another one. That's better. Solid over there now. So, we've just gone back over, going on from our last video, and it's going on, like the wind's died a bit, and it's going under every put. They're all like 3 to 4 pound fish. Been lovely fish. So the gear's perfect. If that wind dies and I could just fish over there for a bit, I'll be really happy. But I've just put £10 in the net in 10 minutes, which when I'm only looking for £90 is perfect. So I'm having to feed my casters before I go over, just so I can concentrate, holding the pole in the wind. Not seen anything in them, but it's early days. There's definitely been some fish moving about down that middle. So if I can build that up for an hour and then drop on it and catch a few F1s, and I've seen carp down the middle. Could be a really good way. That I've just said to the cameraman, those fish I'm catching across, they're perfect for edge fish for later on. They normally fish that stamp when they rock up. They rock up in numbers. So fingers crossed. I say there isn't a lot being caught on either. Like this was the lake people fancied for the lower weight of the three. Can't see 7. Avon's fishing very hard behind me. So it's going all right. They pay continental pay out here. So if you win your lake, you're still picking up like a decent amount. So it's just about winning your lake and hoping for the best. This was the one people thought would be the lower weight lake. But Avon is fishing really tricky behind me. If we can just keep ticking over. Not catching bits of twig like that. I'm quite pleased I've caught it, really. I've been laid over that several times. Now tangled my rig trying to get it out. Typical. Just saw a tail come up over there on my feed, so I know there's going to be one waiting for me. Pulled back the twig and the rig's tangled where it's flicked off, but it's only wrapped around the pole. Still just feeding that medium toss pot of micros every time. Not lots of bait, but seems enough. There's no need to do any more at the moment. So there is the option to big pot some bait over there and force it later on in the day if it dies. But hopefully I'll be catching on the other lines by then anyway. Right, so since I last spoke to you, we were just going back across. Started feeding that caster line, still feeding my meat. And it's been much better. Like, it was as though like the rest did them good. I didn't put any more bait over there, like when I came off that long line. And I've gone across and it's been probably had 6 or 7 carp. They're all, I've not caught these F1s I'm supposed to be catching. Quite pleased about that really. I'd rather catch the carp, obviously. Just still feeding that medium pot of fishery micros. You got to be really accurate. Just dipping my pole under, dropping it out. Maggots have been so much better on the hook. I started off with like 3 or 4. I've now got 5 or 6 on. There's a carp just sat in where I'm feeding my casters now, I've just seen as well. But bites are coming quite quick. Probably won't get one now I've said that, but you don't. There's not lots of indications. You're not missing many bites. I've just lost one foul hooked. That's the first one I've foul hooked over there. It's like you just sit and wait and it wallops under. It's the perfect scenario at the moment, in all honesty. Wind's just getting up again. It's really weird. A lot of the lake's flat calm and like it's quite a horrible ripple coming down here. I don't know. Me and the cameraman. Oh, let's see, I just missed a bite then. But it's lovely over there. I'd say you're not getting lots of bites. You're not missing lots. There's a tail over there now. I've just seen it. A big bunch of maggots on. I say I'm not missing many bites, and I've just missed 2 then. Wind's just getting a little bit awkward again. Missed another one. I've jinxed myself into this, and it's just swum out. So it's a case of coming back and setting the trap again. The bait and everything's still on, but I just want on that pile of bait, as I was saying. And yeah, steady away. I've got £30 now. We've been fishing for an hour and a half, so there's another one just moving through my casters there. That's a big fish. That's £10, that one. There's another one sat in it, so I'm gonna build it up for a little bit longer, but I do think I could actually catch some shallow there. I've seen 2 or 3, like, they're not swirling in your bait or anything, but I can tell they're looking around the area, should I say. So I'm just going to build the confidence up a bit longer. While I'm still getting bites across there, I'm going to do that for now. If I can just have somewhere I can rest this, because it does seem like every now and again, like you start getting silverfish bites, got a couple of perch. Just letting it reset, let them get their confidence back. There's another carp just swimming on that same sort of line now. Definitely. There's another one. There's a few fish moving around that line now. So yeah, I was saying I'm not missing bites, and then it's just missed a couple, and now I'm waiting. It's like, sort of telling me I need to give it a little rest, I think. Try and catch one more there. I don't just want to. Well, this is clearly not a lot being caught. I don't I don't just want to completely fish it out and then not be able to catch there later on. So I'm going to try and get one more here. I just don't feel like they're coming in all of a sudden. Curse of me starting talking to you. Don't feel like they're homing in on the bait now. They're just milling around over there. So I'm going to give them a rest. I'm actually going to do it now. I'm going to come off it. Starting with like a good chunk of worm. Not a full worm by any means, but a good chunk of it. Caught them perch across, so I don't want a tiny little worm head or something on because I'm asking for trouble, I think. Where was it, Ben? There, wasn't it? That wind's making getting them casters out even there quite difficult. Yeah, I think I came away from that mud line at the right time. That wind's got really, really strong all of a sudden. Struggling to hold my rig at 11 metres, 12 metres. No, that on, didn't we? So I've just gone down on the bottom, fishing under my casters. Strangely, didn't have any signs to begin with, and we were just saying, oh, this isn't going to be very good, and it's gone under, and I've had an F1. So just had a really bad spell with the wind there, so I wouldn't have been able to fish across anyways. So I'm just going to tick over on this for a little bit. Hopefully, just the only problem I've got is getting my bait accurately, even though I'm only fishing like 12 metres out. 13 metres a pole, but with a short kit on. Yeah, it's very difficult getting the feed there at times when that wind comes. Just got a bit of a quiet spell now, so get a bit of bait in the peg. When I hooked that F1, there was a fish swirled as I started shipping back. So it's very deep there, so I'd like to think they would come off bottom, and it's sort of the line I've seen carp swimming around them. So you could potentially, while I've set up my shallow rigs for like F1 fishing, could potentially catch an odd carp there. I've set up one quite deep. I can always shallow that right up so I've got a longer line on one of them, which is better for the carp. Just been hearing some of the guys talking around the lake, and they've got like 1 or 2 fish. I think I've got 13 now, so can't see everyone. Certainly the anglers I can see, there hasn't been a huge amount caught. So just hoping this comes to life a little bit. See, this one just turned in my casters when I fed there. I feel like they're up in the water. I'm gonna put a rig on in a minute. Put me deeper one on with some strong shot. Just fish through the water a little bit, see if anything is there, because that's a couple I've seen in the feed now. So not getting the liners from them, but doesn't seem the kind of lake where it's like going to be solid and you're going to have huge amounts there. You're fishing for odd fish, I think. Oh, foul up to carp then. Yeah, the float went under and I struck, and the float was a long way out the water. As I say, I think the shallow. Just take my time, hopefully. Still want to get him in, but that float was a long way out. No, there he is. He's come off. I'm just going to put this down and put my deeper shallow rig on. It definitely feels like there's enough movement there to catch shallow, perhaps. So, still just trickling a bit of meat in short. I've only got half of it on my side tray. I want to feed that half in like the first 6 hour match in the first 4 hours, and then up my feed and feed the rest later on in the day when hopefully I am catching a few short. And there's the first one shallow. That's nice. I think it's a carp as well. Literally just looked away and it's pulled my elastic out, so ideal. It is a carp. Lovely. Not what I wanted. Well, exactly what I want, not what I was expecting, should I say. Nice, Ben. Pulled my elastic out and all. Oh, there's another one shallow, another carp. Lovely. Right, so we're 2 hours in now. Had a really good run when we went back across. Then the wind got up and felt like it needed a rest anyway, and you couldn't hold the pole. And like I say, I started this line with casters. Got 3 F1 rigs set up, two shallow dibbers because I was expecting to push them into the reeds, and one just a 0.2 of our F1 shallow float, just with 4 number 11s down the line. I've got it set about 18 inches deep, short line, gone F1 fishing, waited a while for a bite, and it was obviously a carp. And I've had another one, and it feels like there's an odd one there. It's really nice. The short line doesn't seem to be bothering them, so I'm sticking with it. And they've pulled the elastic out the two I've caught. Still not a lot being caught, and I've got probably 15 carp now, so just feeding a bit of bait, slapping it in a couple of times, but I'd say it's strung shot. It's not making a big slap. It's just sitting there and waiting. There's actually a mugger there. It's turned away from it. Not really the right rig for mugging this, but there's definitely a few carp cruising about shallow. Again, I was expecting all F1s, and I've caught 2, and the 2 I've caught one on my meat line where I was fishing for carp, and the other one I caught on the bottom out there. When I first went out there, I went and had a look on the bottom, sat and waited a while and didn't think it was going to go, and then had an F1 on a worm head. The wind is making it tricky to feed at times. At times I just have to slap the bait a bit and just wait for that breeze to go. There we go, and that's another bite, and I think that's another. Oh, it's come off. I've just lost another one like that. I think I've just got to shallow up a few inches. It's lovely that they're coming into it though. I've not been feeding it for long, so just going to whiz that down. 6 inch. So I was at about 21 inches I was fishing. I've just took 6 inches off. With carp I don't find, not like F1s where like a couple of inch increment makes a massive difference. With carp I like to go up by a bit more. They're bigger fish. So we'll go out. I'll try this for a bit. I can always deepen back down. That slightly longer line might help with the carp as well. And if I see any more of them muggers, it'll be a bit better. Right, so I'm going to round off, concentrate on this for a little bit. I just think, well, at the moment, I'm just going to get my head down on this. When the wind allows, and if I feel this needs a rest, I'll go back over. As you can see at the moment, the wind is, at times it's horrible. Keep feeding my meat line. Hopefully a few rock up on that. I feel it's a bit too deep for that at the moment until they get their heads down. Yeah, so I'm just going to get my head down, hopefully catch a few on this, and we'll get back to you when anything changes. Right, so we've been fishing this shallow line. It was actually really good to begin with, once got the depth sorted. And now it's just, well, I've gone from getting lots of bites to nothing. It's noticeable, the sun's gone in a bit. I think the fish have just, that I was catching that were milling around, they're not milling around now. So I think I'm going to just come off it for a little bit. I'd like to say I'm going across, but the wind's just started to get back up again. Might just have a look on my meat short for a little bit. Just do something else for a few minutes anyway. Hopefully build the confidence up. So there's a lot of ducks there at the moment. And I'm not a fan of them for catching carp shallow. So it's probably in my own head, but I've had places where it hasn't worked. So I'm just gonna give it a couple more minutes. It's still an odd fish topping, but you were seeing a few swim through before, and now I'm not. So. Did just have an indication then. Just when the ducks have swum off a little bit, so maybe there is something in that. Then it might be time for a look across. Just waiting to see what happens with that wind the next couple of minutes. Excuse me. But yeah, I was getting it was starting to look like it was going to be really good there. And oh, another indication then. We've just had a couple. Just give it a little bit longer. Oh, and there's a carp. So yeah, might keep on it for a bit longer then. Weird, I hadn't had a bite, and then I've just got signs again. So it's definitely while them ducks were at their worst. So. Oh, no one wants to see that though. So I think I'll just carry on with it a bit longer. So I'd like to go across, and that wind's showing signs of being a bit naughty again at the moment. See if I can get another bite. It all depends on the next 5 minutes now. I always find with carp it's better to feed before you go out, get them there, and then slap the bait and get their attention to that one hook bait. Hopefully they're not feed again. There are obviously times you can't just sit there doing it. You've got to feed a bit of bait again. But yeah, that's not right at the moment. So we'll do that. I'll have a look short, put a pot of bait in the edge, and we'll see where we go from there. So I fed me edge. I've not seen anything down there. A bit early, really. I just chanced it. Just had a go on this meat line. Missed one bite and then did have a carp, but no more signs. It doesn't feel like they've rocked up there yet. We're still only halfway through. We're not quite halfway through yet. So the best time is generally going to be left to come. The wind's dropped down a little bit, so just going to put a bit more hemp in on this. Might just start up in the feed a touch now. Trying to set it up for later. And while the wind's dropped down, I'm going to go back across for a little bit. The sun's gone in. Not really seeing a lot coming shallow at the moment. So want to build that up again. Feels like just a day of really rotating. Everywhere you start, like drop on a new line, you generally seem to get a bite. So it's just going to be rotating between these three, hopefully. He's not very happy, Ben. No, and that's why. Right, so we're now 3 hours in at the halfway point. Like I say, it's a 6-hour match here. It's noticeably gone really quiet. The last half hour, I had one on meat, like the casters had gone, and the wind's just dropped. I've gone back over. I'm getting a few indications. I've just had one, and I've just fouled up one and lost one as well. So hopefully I can just get my head down over there again for a bit, weather permitting. It's noticeable. There's not a lot being caught. The guy on the end there's had a couple, and the lake behind's exactly the same. The anglers that were catching on there have now gone a bit quiet. So I think it's just time of day. It's come over. There's a bit of drizzle in the air. It just doesn't feel as nice, and it is the worst part of the match, mid-match. So it's just going to be about. I feel like we're in the lead, so just about ticking over for a little bit, and then hopefully setting ourselves up on a line or a couple of lines for a good run late. I don't really want it to be on this across line, just because it's so awkward shipping over there, and you can get wiped out with the wind very quickly. So I'm hoping I'll catch short or in the edge or somewhere, or shallow. But I just need to tick over for another hour or so. There are signs of fish coming in across again now. So that's good. Here comes the rain. Not so good. Just started up in my feed on my short line. A bit more meat. Actually cut some more hemp in, and I put a few casters in on it just because they do seem to be liking those. Another indication there. I have got the option, if I need to, like I say, I can big pot some ground bait across on that shallow water just to try and get another run out of that. They seem to be coming in all right just on the micros at the moment. So we're up to about £50. The second half of the match should be the better one. So I'd like to think we could reach £100, which was the target, which is like 90 to £100 is normally the weight on here. So yeah, we're on target at the moment. It's a shame it had slowed up because it was nice and steady, but certainly not alone. Not just my lake, like I say, the lake behind's exactly the same. It's fished quite hard on there, but there has been a couple of anglers catching, and they've really slowed up. So, oh. So we'll just keep ticking over. There's not a lot to show you at the moment because there's not a lot happening. So just a case of going through the motions. Even across there, it's like I said before, when they were coming in earlier, it was lovely and all clean bites, and it's not like that now. it's a bit messy, even though I'm not feeding a lot. This rain isn't going to help at all. But we'll just keep going for the moment. See if I can catch another 3 or 4 fish this next hour. And then set ourselves up for a much better last couple of hours. That's the plan. It doesn't always go to plan. I'm going to have to make a run for it and go and get my coat in a minute because we weren't forecast any rain at all. And it's now hammering it down. So yeah, just a case of going through the motions, I'm afraid, at the moment. It is that time of day. If I could see other people catching loads, I'd be thinking I need to change something, but they're not. So we'll just keep going through the motions. Hopefully have another little run across. There is signs of this fish coming in. And then set ourselves up for a good last couple of hours. Hopefully this rain doesn't hang around too long. It's supposed to be nice and sunny this afternoon, and it's gone the other way. I've had to take, as you can see, I've had to take my sunglasses off. It's like I was night fishing, which wasn't the forecast at all. There was a bit of rain this morning, which we never got. It's completely back to front. Oh, there's one across now. Look, that's all right. Which is what we want. No, that's on that mud line again, mate. So, if I can get, like I say, if I can get half a dozen fish across there, this next hour, I'm in a nice position, I think. The target is £100. This one will take me up to nearly about 60. So we're well on target. We're ahead of target, really, with what should be the better part of the match to come. So yeah, not unhappy. Just going through the motions at the moment. We had a spell where it got better, and now it's just all right again. So I will get back to you, unless something changes drastically. I'll get back to you in an hour, and we'll see where we're at. Right, so 2 hours to go. We actually had a much better, well, not better. I said I wanted 4 or 5 fish that last hour. And I went across again, the wind dropped, and I got the 4 or 5 before it all went weird again, like it has done all day. You just can't plunder it. And as you can see, the weather is now turned for the worse. It's absolutely chucking it down. But when it started raining, started to see a few carp come up again, so I've gone shallow. I've obviously been feeding it, and I hadn't seen any signs, and now there's a few fish moving around shallow again, and I've gone in there and had 3 or 4 quickly. So I've got another one on now, decent fish again. So I'm just going to plunder that for a while, hopefully. We're getting to that time of day now where I need to start lining them up somewhere, so hopefully this is the one. I'm still feeding the meat, feeding that like more positively now. Hoping I can get a run there. I'm just not sure they want to be in that deep water because it is like a full short kit there. So maybe they don't want to be there today. My edge I'm going to obviously feed. We've got the cameraman stood right over us because there's a bloke behind me the other side, so we can only fish down that. He can only stand that side. So I don't know whether they'll come in. I'm obviously got a big pot's ground bait and that in there. What I'm thinking in my head, just to give myself a chance of catching away from him, I can't get tight in this other side, but I'm just going to throw some casters, replumb my rig from across, like where I was going to fish against the reeds. Just throw some casters down there because that's been very good on venues recently. Yeah, get this one in. He's really pulling this one. Lovely fish. Probably the biggest fish of the day, that one. And yeah, we're doing well. Wasn't the lake fancy to win the match, but we're definitely doing well on this lake. Avon's not fishing. 7 is probably the most fancied lake. So just got to try and plunder some now and get that weight up. I'm at probably £80 now with 2 hours to go, so it's gone really well. We were only looking to catch £90, like 90 to £100. That's normally the sort of weight you need on here. So we're definitely on target for that. Unless something goes horribly wrong, we're going to catch that. So it's just about, like I say, I just want a good run of fish now. This rain probably isn't going to help us in the long run, but it has brought some fish up shallow, so hopefully get a few more here, and then a run shorter in the edge late on. Don't really want to, like, I know I could go across and get some bites again, but it's so awkward with the triple ship in, and I don't really want to focus that on like where I'm going to really bump my weight up. It's somewhere to go if I need to get some bites. So hopefully going to start getting a few like my side of the lake, or this shallow line could go really good, but could just miss a bite then again. Wouldn't think they'd be up there with all this rain, but it just seems to have brought them up in the water for some reason. How long they stay there for, they might soon go down again with the rain. Just got to make the most of them while they're there. Not actually fed a lot of bait. I only fed a couple of pints of casters. It's there's no need to lash it in there. They're just moping around down the middle. You see an odd one coming through. I've tried to mug a couple, but they're not spooking off. They just don't want to know. They just keep plodding along on their way. So leave them to it, and hopefully a few more start coming into this feed. Just hope this rain stops soon, though. It's supposed to be a lovely day today. Rain this morning before we got to our pegs, and we had none of that, and it seems to have, oh, missed another bite then. It seems to have come later and heavier. Not what anyone was expecting. I had to run off and go and get my waterproofs a bit quick. But the fish are still obliging, so I'm going to carry on with this. We'll probably get back to you in half hour now, because things will hopefully change quite quickly now, as we're coming into that last couple of hours and the fish start feeding. So just going to go through the motions with this for a bit, and then we'll start forcing the peg a little bit short that last hour and a half. So I will catch up with you again in half hour. So as I just said, the rain's now finally stopped. We're still catching a few shallow, sorry. I've just plumbed my rig up from across by the reeds, and it's exactly the same. I've got 3 foot there, just on the edge of that cover. It's away from the cameraman. Just putting half a dozen handfuls of casters in to start it off, and then I'm just going to trickle a bit over it. Just to give me another edge, because like I say, he's moved back, but I'm going to feed my shallow edge, but I'm just not 100% sold they're going to come down there with them being a bit tricky. Put a couple of pots of ground bait down there anyway. I just want to give myself somewhere I can perhaps like catch those edge fish if I need to. Just had a couple more shallow, so it's going well. The rain's stopped. Maybe that'll mean I don't catch shallow again now. Does seem how it is. Put 2 full cups of ground bait down and a full big cup of maggots in that shallow water. I'm going to put some casters and some bit more hemp. Need to get the rest of my meat out. So now's the time I want to start feeding a bit more bait and catching those fish that are feeding. It's that time of day now, hopefully. There we go. Right, so we had a nice little run shallow. Now the sun's come out, it's glorious, and we can't get a bite shallow. So just had a look on my meat line. And that's my first look on it, and it's just gone. I've just fed my edges again. So hopefully we can have a run short on this meat. Never had no sign. I waited there a couple of minutes, kind of telling me there isn't like tons of fish there. But we'll drop back in. Could be good. I can get this hook out if I concentrate. Always feed first with your meat. Make sure it's sunk. The ducks are loving it if nothing else is. I've just really put a load more bait on that in my shallow water. Another 4 pots there. Not seen anything come in. I'm not sure if they will. So I'm throwing a few casters down there now. That could be good. Don't really want to go back over, but if this doesn't improve, I might have to. Amazing. There were loads of fish rocked up when it was shallow, when it was raining, and now the sun's out, and you'd think it would be good. All I caught was a couple of roach, so they tell you what they want to do, them fish. Another little indication then on the meat. So maybe that could come good. Oh, missed a bite then. Yeah, maybe we can catch a few on that meat. Just feels like it's slowed up a bit when I was expecting this to be the better part of the match. Oh, just bump one then. There's a few fish on that meat line now. I was expecting somewhere to go. Makins is notorious for being quite slow, and a lot of your weight come in the last 2 hours, and it's going the other way, and it's one of my slower spells. Maybe the calm before the storm. Right, so hour to go, and it's gone completely the opposite of what I was expecting. The peg's gone really, really slow now. Might have to go back across, as it turns out, which wasn't expecting to do. There's clearly fish coming in that shallow water, like you can see odd clouds, but I've just tried it, can't get a bite. Meat line's not great. I feel it's a bit deep really today. I've had a couple of indications down here where I'm throwing the casters, but it doesn't. It's gone really bright now, and they don't seem to want to come in. Might have to go back across, in all honesty. Not what I was expecting at this time of day, but really wanted a run somewhere. But I think a combination of all that rain we had, and then it going bright and still, they've just put them off a little bit. But I don't know. There's another little liner there now. I feel like that could be probably my best line late on. having a lot of problems with ducks now. That is, wherever I feed any bait, they're straight on it. Which, when the fish are being a bit cagey, isn't helping when they're diving all around my float. But doesn't matter. Oh, missed a bite then. Just fishing a big worm, just throwing a few casters down there. I still think that could come good. It's like 3 foot there. Just a nice depth. See there, whether I throw any casters or meat or anything, the ducks are just straight on it. It's not helping me, I don't feel. But there we go. First one I put down that edge where I was throwing casters. A few missed bites first. Fat old mirror. Hopefully the first of many down there. Well, there's another bite. I think this one's actually fail hook, but there is an odd one coming down there. Peg's definitely slowed up. That seems to be a better line now. Not sure where to go for the best. Yeah, was indeed foul hooked. So I think I'm going to have another look shallow in a minute. Give these short lines another feed, and hopefully they rock up. But it's just painfully slow on here now. So we've got 40 minutes to go. The peg died a little bit, in all honesty. Well, the whole lake has. I've not seen anyone catching anything. Managed one throwing casters down that deeper edge. Couple short on meat, but neither really seemed right. So I've just gone back out shallow. I've got a good ripple out there again now. It was flat and bright. And I have just had 2 fish on it, so I was thinking about going back across, but now the wind's getting up. Hopefully I can have a little run now. I'm still keep feeding all my other lines, but don't feel that they're coming in on that ground bait in the shallow water. Hopefully get a couple well throwing the casters down the other edge, and hopefully a couple short on me. Be nice if I could just get a run of fish on this. I've just had 2, like I say, and one of them was my best fish of the day, probably 6 pounds. It just seems to, like, since we had that rain, it's really killed it. This is a shame because it was lovely till then. I think there's still an odd fish to be caught, but you really got to work at it now. They've never lined themselves up anywhere all day. You catch a couple somewhere and then move. But I thought you'd get some longer runs as the day went on, and it's gone the other way. Just an odd fish now. But from what I can hear people saying, the lake's not fished very well at all today. So I can't grumble because I've had a nice day's fishing. So Still just fishing with that our little, never picked the proper shallow, like my dibbers up. Just, oh, missed a bite then. Just one of our F1 shallow floats. 4 number 11 strung out, and there's another one. See, I think I'm just going to sit on this because there is an odd one there again now. Just strung shot, just, well, slapping it, but it doesn't make a lot of noise because all the the shot is spread out, so you're just laying it in and trying to grab their attention, not feeding a lot. They're just mealing around down that middle. So I think I'm just going to see my way out on this unless something really changes. But so another fish shallow. I think it's just going to be a case, now I've got that ripple, just sitting on it. It's not, that's a good fish again. They're bigger fish now. That one's £5. I think it's just a case of sitting on it now. Not getting loads of signs, but there's obviously a lot of people sat down the edges now and short, and no one's catching anything. So just going to tick over on this for the rest of the match, I think, unless something drastically changes. Just had to come back a little bit. I'm halfway down my section now, just because of the wind. It's got right up again. It just helped the fishing. Like, the fish are happy to come shallow again now. They want that bit of movement on the water in some way. See, there's a missbite there. I just can't feed my casters quite as far now. Not, like I say, I'm not having to feed a lot. A couple of pouching a few out, double feeding a few, and then slapping it a little bit and just leaving it hanging. And a lot of them are coming. Like this, there's just fish in the area, and every now and again, like now, you've just got to provoke them a little bit. Just put a few casters on their head, get them moving about again. But yeah, it's not lashing it in by any means, which is normally the way to go at Makins. I just know a carp is coming in a minute, just from what's been going on. A little stab there, so slap the rig a couple of times, just get their attention. And there we go, there's a carp, just like that. They're good fish now, this is a big fish. This is a really big fish. It's got me stood up. It's a big fish for this gear, should I say, because I'm not fishing, I'm more F1-y fishing. Getting bigger, aren't they? Like the average stamp all day has been, there's been an odd smaller fish, but like £3 to £4, and now they're £4 to £5. They've just got that little bit bigger. It's £5 again. So yeah, like I was saying, I've just fed a couple of pouches of 20 casters, not lots. Go out, just see what happens. Slap the caster about a little bit. Missed bite, so there's obviously one there, so I'll just make a bit more noise. No need to feed. Another missed bite, so he's still there. Another missed bite. I think that one was a roach bite though. if I don't catch him now, I'll feed a little bit just to keep him in the peg, because he'll soon that fish will soon swim off if I don't feed any more. Like, he's come to investigate, and now there's nothing there. He'll be wondering what's happening. So there you go. Just a single pouch this time. You want to mix it up a little bit. The slap in. So you can normally feed a lot of bait here, and venues like this where you're fishing for carp. Just not felt the need today. Never felt like it would have achieved anything absolutely bladdering it in. So. In missed bites, so there's one there again at the moment. Just trying to tease him into taking the bait now. Missed bite again. Third time's a charm. Come on, the fish. Third time isn't a charm. See, he's had a look. Didn't catch him, he's gone. Got to feed a bit more bait. Let's make that bit of noise with the bait going in. They sink really slowly, so you've got a fish coming into it. Missed bite then. We're going to have it in a minute. He's just swirled there. It's noticeable, the wind's, the ripple's just gone on the water, and all of a sudden you're missing lots of bites. Like, they're really cagey. When that ripple was there, it was far better. So they're still there. There's just been a swirl, but another missed bite. That as soon as they've not got that wind on the water, or like we had the rain earlier, they're just really cagey today. Other days it's the other way. When that's flat, you just slap a bit of bait and they're on it. Every day is different. Yeah, as soon as how long have we got left? 20 minutes. As soon as that wind's died, they've got tricky to catch again. So, oh, there's one. Moan one on. Right, so we're into the last 10 minutes, and the shallow fishing's actually been good. They've been much bigger stamp. It's really noticeable. Whenever there's a ripple there, you catch. When you don't, they're still there, and you get an odd one, but like missed bites, and they're not very happy. And I was just praying we'd get a ripple back for this end of the match, and it's just come back. So we've got 10 minutes to go. Could have potentially, they're there now. If that ripple stays, I could get 2 or 3 more in that last 10 minutes, hopefully. Which would be a very nice finish to the day. Ripples on that water nice now, not waiting long for a bite. They're there waiting for you now. They've been there for the last hour, but I say, as soon as that ripple's gone, they're a nightmare to catch. There's another one, look. Can't get in quick enough now. There we go. Well done all. So that's the end of the match. Had an absolutely fantastic day. It's been better than we were expecting, in all honesty. Been a very strange day. We've had every weather under the sun. It's been flat calm, blowing a gale, bright and sunny, overcast, poured it down with rain a couple of times. We've literally had it all. Caught over on the mud when I could hold it, but it was fits and starts. I've had a couple short on meat. Wanted to fish casters to the reeds, but the wind's just not allowed it. So I fished it at like 11, 12 metres. F1 rigs, expecting to catch F1s, which I'd been told I would do. And I've actually caught carp once I've got the right depth, sort of 18 inches. You've just, again, caught in spells on and off. And then the last half hour, well, they've rocked up properly out there. Noticeable every time I had a ripple, it was so easy. I'd go in and get one a bung, and they were much bigger stamp. Times like the ripple went, like you can hardly hold your pole again now. It's been so up and down. When the ripple went, they were still there. You'd get indications, but they were very tricky to catch. You could eventually slap one on, working really hard, and then when the wind was there, you couldn't get in quick enough. So, had a great day. I think I've got, by my clicker, about 140 pounds, so that's, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win the lake. I don't know about the other lakes. So this is the lower weight lake normally, but fingers crossed. It's continental payout, so if we haven't won the match, we'll still get a good payout. I'm going to get packed up quick because they're closing the gates here. We've got to get packed away quick today, so going to get that done. Hopefully get weighed in soon. Right, so the results are in, and we've actually ended up winning the match. So really chuffed with that, because considering we were on the lake that is normally the lower weight lake. Weighed just shy of 133 pound. Chris Barley was second on our lake with 89. He's had exactly the same as me. As soon as the rain stopped, like no one's caught anything. I was lucky I caught a few shallow very late on. So a lovely day's fishing, lots of bites because the fish aren't massive. Avon's been won with 102 pound, and Seven, where everyone fancied, has been 127 and 125. So I've just, that last 10 minutes has won me the match. So really pleased, nice to get a win for the cameras again. Want to go home and dry off now. It has literally been it's blowing a hoolie now. It's been every season under the sun today. So, but great day out with the cameras. We're out again next month doing something. So until then, I'll catch you soon.